What nonsense! I haven't got a brother. But it's good enough for me. Good enough for me.
Garden at the manor house. A flight of grey stone steps leads up to the house. The garden, an old-fashioned one, full of roses. Time of year, July. Basket chairs and a table covered with flowers, covered with books, are set under a large yew tree. Miss Prism discovered seated at the table. Cecily is lying back watering flowers.
Cecily, surely such a utilitarian occupation, such as watering the plants, is rather Moulton's duty than yours, especially at a moment when intellectual pleasures await you. Come here, child. Your German grammar is on the table. Pray open to page 15. We shall repeat yesterday's lesson.
But I don't like German. It's not a common language at all. In fact, I'm sure they're going to pay off for my German lessons.
Child, you know how anxious your guardian is that you should improve in every manner. He laid particular stress on your German grammar before he left to town. Indeed, he lays particular stress on your German grammar every time before he leaves to town.
Oh, Uncle Jack is so very serious. Sometimes he's too serious. I don't even think that he's well.
Cecily, I'm surprised at you. Mr. Worthy has many anxieties in his life, and you mustn't forget of his constant anxiety of that unfortunate young brother of his, Earnest.
How I wish Uncle Jack would let an unfortunate man come and visit us once. Well, you might have a good influence in him. Well, Miss Prism, you shouldn't will. You know German and geology, and things like that will pretty much influence him.
I do not think that even I could produce any effect on the unfortunate young man, Earnest, and I do not think that I would like to reclaim him, for I'm not fond of this modern mania of turning bad people into good people in a moment of time. Cecily, put away a diary instantly. I do not see the reason why you should keep a diary at all.
I keep a diary in order to enter wonderful secrets of my life. And if I won't write them down, I'll probably forget about them.
Memory, my dear Cecily, memory is a diary that we all bring about us.
But it's rather chronicle that things that never happened would have happened. I believe, Miss Prism, that memory is responsible for the tree novel that Woody has sent us.
Do not speak slightly of the tree volume novel, Cecily. I wrote one myself in the earlier days.
Did you really, Miss Prism? How wonderful clever you are. But I hope your novel didn't end happily. Novel that ends happily depresses me so much.
Oh, the good ended happily and the bad ended happily. That is what fiction means.
I suppose so, but it's rather unfair. And was your novel ever got published?
Alas, no. The manuscript was abandoned. I use this word in sense of lost or mislaid. To your work, child. These speculations are profitless.
But I see your Dr. Chasuble is coming through the garden.
this morning. Miss Prism, I trust your word.
Miss Prism has just been complaining about a slight headache. I think it would do her so much good if you take a short stroll in through the garden of the festival.
Not mention anything about a headache, Cicely.
Oh no, dear Miss Prism, but I instinctively think that you have a headache. In fact, I was thinking about it all the time and not my German lesson when the rectors came in.
Cecily, I hope you are not inattentive.
I'm afraid I am, Doctor. I'm afraid I am.
It's strange. We are fortunate enough to become Miss Prism pupils and with hang upon some leaves. I spoke that metaphorically. My metaphors were drawn from these. Oh, Mr. Worthing, I suppose, has not returned from the town yet.
We did not expect of him till Monday afternoon.
Ah, yes. He likes to spend his Sundays in London. He's not one of those who soul aim his enjoyment. But by all accounts, this unfortunate young man of his brothers seems to be. But I shall not disturb Julia with her pupils any longer.
Julia? But my name is Letitia, Doctor.
A classical illusionary, drawn from the authors of Pagan. I shall see you both, no doubt, at Earnest.
Oh, but dear Doctor, I feel that I have a headache after all, and a walk with you might do me good.
With pleasure, Miss Prism, with pleasure. We may go as far as school and back.
That would be delightful. Cicely, you will read your political economy in my absence. You may omit the chapter on the downfall of the rupee. It is somewhat too sensational. Even these melodramatic problems have their metallic side.
Horrid political economy, horrid geology, horrid German.
Mr. Ernest Worthing has just driven over from the station. He has brought his luggage.
Mr. Ernest Worthing? Before the Albany? Uncle Jack's brother? Did you tell him that Uncle Jack was in town?
Yes, miss. He seemed very much disappointed. I mentioned that you and Miss Prism were in the garden. He said he was anxious to speak to you privately for a moment.
Ask him to come here at once, and I think you should talk to the housekeeper about keeping a room for him.
Yes.
I've never met anyone really wicked before. Rather, I feel very frightened. I'm afraid that he's going to look just like everyone else.
He does. You're my little cousin Cecily, I'm sure.
And you are under some strange mistake. I'm not small. In fact, I'm quite tall for my age. And you, I see from your card, is Uncle Jack's brother, my cousin Ernest, my wicked cousin Ernest.
Oh, I'm not really wicked at all, cousin Cecily. You mustn't think that I'm wicked.
But if you're not, then you must be deceiving us in a very inexcusable manner. I hope you're not leading a double life, being good and being wicked at the same time. That would be hypocrisy.
Oh, I have been rather reckless.
I'm glad to hear that.
In fact, now you mention the subject, I've been very bad in my own small way.
I don't think that you should be proud of it, but I believe it'd rather be pleasant.
It is much pleasanter being here with you.
But I don't understand why you're even here. Uncle Jack won't be here until Monday afternoon.
That is a great disappointment. I'm obliged to go up by the first train on Monday morning. I have an appointment and a business appointment that I'm anxious to miss.
Could you miss it anyway but London?
No, the appointment is in London.
Well, I understand how important it is not keep a business engagement or delay. But I still think that you need to wait for Uncle Jack. He will be glad to talk to you about your immigrating.
About my what?
Well, about your immigrating. Uncle Jack went to the town to take your outfit.
I certainly wouldn't let Jack buy my outfit. He has no taste in neckties at all.
But cousin Ernest, I don't think that you will require a necktie. You're going to Australia.
Australia? I'd sooner die.
Well, he told us last Wednesday night upon dinner that you will be needing to choose between this world, the next world, or even Australia.
Oh, well, the accounts that I received of Australia and the next world are not particularly encouraging. This world is good enough for me, cousin Cecily.
Not good enough for it.
I'm afraid I'm not that.
That's why I want you to inform me. You might make the estimation as it says to me. You wouldn't mind, won't you?
I don't have time actually this afternoon.
Well, would you mind my informing myself this afternoon?
It's very inquisitive of you, but I think you should try.
I will. I feel better already.
But you look a little worse.
That's why. That is because, I'm hungry.
Oh, don't disturb me. I should always remember that when one is going to lead another entire new life, one should require a wholesome regular meal. Would you come in with me?
Thank you. Ah, might have a buttonhole first.
A rationale?
I still don't have big rose.
But why?
Because you are like a big rose, Captain Sesame.
But I don't think that it's quite right for you to talk to me like that. Miss Prism has never said such thing to me.
That Miss Prism is a short-sighted old lady. You are the prettiest girl I ever saw.
Miss Prism says that all good looks are snare.
There's there that every sensible man like to be caught in.
But I don't think that I would like to talk with a sensible man. I wouldn't know what to talk to him about.
Oh, dear Dr. Possible, you're too much alone. You should get married. Mr. Trope, I can understand. But a woman trope, never.
Believe me, I do not deserve your logistic of phrase. The precept as well as the practice of primitive church was distinctly against matrimony.
That is obviously the reason why the primitive church did not last to present. You do not seem to realize, dear doctor, that by persistently remaining single, a man converts himself to permanent public temptation, and this very syllabusly leads weaker vessels astray.
But is a man not equally attractive when married?
No married man is ever attractive except to his wife.
And I often heard not even to her.
That depends on the intelligent sympathies of the woman. Maturity can be trusted. Ripeness can be depended. Young women are somewhat green. Well, I spoke horticulturally, but my dear doctor, where is Cicely?
Perhaps she follows to the school.
Perhaps so, doctor, perhaps so. Oh, Mr. Worthing,
Mr. Worthing?
this is a surprise.
I have risen sooner than I expected. Dr. Chasuble, I hope you're well.
Dear Mr. Worthing, I hope this graph of work does not betoken as something terrible calamity.
My brother,
More shameful depth and extravagance.
Still leading his life of pleasure.
is dead.
Your brother Earnest dead?
Quite dead.
What a lesson. I'm sure he will profit by it.
Dear Mr. Worthing, I offer you my sincere condolence. You have at least the consolations of knowing that you are always the most generous and forgiving of brothers.
Poor Ernest. He had many faults. But it is a sad, sad blow.
Where is that indeed? Were you with him at the end?
He went abroad, in Paris. In fact, I had a telegram last night from the manager of the Grand Hotel.
Was the cause of death mentioned?
A severe chill, it seems.
As a man sows, so shall he reap.
Charity, Miss Prism, charity. None of us are perfect. I myself am peculiar and susceptible to drop. Will the interment take place here?
No! He died abroad in Paris, and has been desired to be buried in there.
In Paris? I taught my sermons on the meaning of manna in wilderness can be adapted to his funeral. Our preach is in the days of festivals, confirmations, christenings, days of jubilations, and festal days.
Ah! You mentioned Christian, I think. Dr. Chasuble, I suppose you know how to Christian, all right? I mean, you are continually Christianing, aren't you?
Yes? But Mr. Worthing, who wants to be Christian?
It was me.
But Mr. Worthing, you have been Christian already.
I don't remember anything about it.
Do you have any grave doubt of the subject?
I would intend to do it, but it will not bother you. Or maybe you think I'm a little too old now.
Mr. Worthing, you need have no apprehensions. Spanking is all that's needed. In fact, I think advisable. Our weather now is so changeable. At what hour would you like the ceremony to be performed?
I think maybe a 5:30 would do.
Amably? Amably. But Mr. Worthing now, I shall not intrude any longer in this house of sorrow. But I merely beg you not to be too much bowed down by grief. What seems to a bitter trials are often blessings in disguise.
This seems to me a blessing of an extremely obvious kind. Oh, Uncle Jack, I'm so glad to see you. But what horrid clothes you have on. Do you go and change them to sleep?
My child,
What's the matter, Uncle Jack? You look happy. Guess what? I have a surprise for you. Yes, who's in the dining room?
Who?
Your brother.
What nonsense. I haven't got a brother.
Uncle Jack, don't say that. However badly you have been behaved, he's still your brother. You won't be that heartless to disown him. I'll ask him to come up and you will shake hands with him, won't you, Uncle Jack?
this is very joyful tidings.
After we have been informed of his death, his sudden presence seems rather distressing for me.
My brother in the dining room? I don't know what it means, but I think this is perfectly absurd.
Good heavens! Brother John, I've come down from town to tell you that I'm very sorry for all the troubles I've given you. And I intend to lead a better life in future.
Uncle Jack, you won't refuse your own brother hand, won't you?
Nothing will induce me to take his hand. I think this came down to gracefully. He knows perfectly well why.
Uncle Jack, do be nice. There must be good in everyone. Ernest has just been telling me about Mr. Paul Bumber, whom he often goes to visit. And there surely must be good in a person who is kind enough to leave the pleasure of life to be by the bed of the king.
Ah, he has been talked about bumbering, has he?
Yes, Ernest has been telling me about poor Bunbury and his terrible state of health.
I won't allow him to talk about bumbering to you or anything else. It's perfectly drives one frantic.
Of course, I admit that the faults were all on my side. But Brother John Cook, to me, is peculiarly painful. I expected more enthusiastic welcome, considering this is the first time I've come here.
Uncle Jack, if you don't shake hands with him, I'll never forgive you.
Never forgive me?
Never, never, never.
Well, this is the last time I shall ever do it.
It is pleasant, it is not, to see such a perfect reconciliation. I think we might need to leave the two brothers together.
Cicely, you will follow us. Certainly. My little task of reconciliation is over.
You have done a beautiful action today, child.
We must not be premature in our decisions.
I'm very happy.
Young scoundrel Alvin, you must leave this place as soon as possible. I won't allow any bumbering here.
I have put Mr. Ernest's things in the room next to yours. I suppose that is all right.
What?
Mr. Ernest's luggage, sir. I have unpacked it and put it in the room next to your own.
His luggage?
Yes, sir. 3 portmanteaus, a dressing case, 2 hat boxes, and a large luncheon basket.
I'm afraid I can't stay more than a week this time.
Ah. Hey man, order the dog cart. Mr. Ernest has been suddenly called back to town.
Yes, sir.
What a fearful lie you are, Jack. I've not been called to town at all.
Yes, you are.
I haven't heard anyone call me.
Your duty as a gentleman calls you back.
Well, my duty as a gentleman never interfere with my pleasure in the smallest degree.
I can quite understand that.
Well, Cecily is a darling.
I won't allow to talk to Miss Cardew like that. I don't like it.
Well, I do like your clothes. Look, you look perfectly ridiculous in them. Why on earth don't you go up and change? It is perfectly childish to be in deep mourning for a man who is staying for a whole week in your house as a guest. I call it grotesque.
You are saying you will stay with me for the whole week as a guest or anything else.
I certainly wouldn't go as long as you in the deep mourning. It would be most unfriendly.
Well, will you go if I change my clothes?
Yes. If you're not taking so long. I never saw anybody take so long to dress with such a little result.
At any rate, it is better than always overdressed like you are.
If I'm a little overdressed, I will make up for being always immensely over-educated.
Your vanity is ridiculous. Your presence in my garden is utterly absurd. However, you have to catch the 4-5. The bum ring that you as known as are not has been a great success for you.
Well, I think it has been a good success to me. I'm in love with Cecily, and that is everything. But I must see her at once and make another arrangement for another bum. Ah, there she is.
But I merely came back to water the roses. I thought you were still with Uncle Jack.
He's gone to order a dog couple.
Oh, is he going to bring you for a night ride?
He's going to send me away.
Does this mean that we have to part?
I'm afraid so. It is very painful party.
It is always painful to part with a person who you have known just for a brief moment. It's almost unbearable.
Thank you.
The dog cart is at the door, sir. It can wait, Mermaid, for 5 minutes.
I hope, Cecily. I should not offend you if I state this quite frankly and openly, that you seem to me in every way the visible personification of absolute perfection.
Your frankness does give you that credit, Ernest. But if you will allow me, I will copy your remarks in my diary.
You really keep a diary? May I look at it?
Oh no, it's simply a girlish records of her thought and impression, and consequently meant for publication. But when it appears in volume form, I hope you'll order one. But pray, Ernest, don't stop. I'm delighted to take down all your dictation. I've reached absolute perfection. You can go on. I'm quite sure for more. Oh, Ernest, don't cough. When one is dictating, one should not cough, but speak fluently. Besides, I don't know how to spell a cough.
Cecily, ever since I ever saw your wonderful, incomparable beauty, I've dared to love you widely, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly.
I don't think that you will tell me that you will love me widely, passionately, devotedly. Hopelessly doesn't make any sense, does it?
Cecily,
The dog cart is waiting, sir.
tell it to come around next week at the same hour.
Yes,
Uncle Jack will be very much annoyed if he knows that you're going to stay for another week.
I don't care about Jack. I don't care for anybody in the whole world but you. I'm in love with you, Cecily. You will marry me, won't you?
Oh, silly boy. Why? We have been engaged for the past 3 months.
For the past 3 months?
Yes, it's going to be exactly 3 months this Thursday.
And how do we become engaged?
Well, when Uncle Jack first confessed to us that he has a younger brother who is very wicked and bad, you, Ernest, has become a chief topic with me and Miss Prism. And I dare say, and I must say that, a person as much talk is very attractive. I dare say it was foolish of me, Ernest, but I fell in love with you.
Darling. And when was our engagement actually settled?
On the 14th of February, after a long struggle with myself, I finally accepted you under this still tree, and the next morning I bought a ring with your name, and it's true that Bengal I promised you I was wear.
Oh, did I ever give you this? It's very pretty, isn't it?
You have wonderful good taste. And this is the box which I keep all of your letters.
My letters? But my own sweet Cecily, I never written you any letters.
You needly hardly remind me of that. I remember that I was forced to write to you 3 times a week and sometimes oftener.
Oh, do let me read them, Cecily.
Oh no, it will make you far too conceited. The 3 letters you wrote to me when I broke up our engagement was so beautiful, but so badly spelled that I hardly read without crying a little.
But did our engagement ever broken off?
Yes, on the 22nd of March, you can read the diary. You can read the entry if you like. Today, I broke off my engagement with Ernest. I feel it's better for me to do so. The weather continued charming.
But why did you ever broke it off?
It won't be a serious engagement if it won't be broken for this once. But I forgave you anyway, even before the week was out.
What a perfect angel you are, Cecily.
My dear romantic boy.
You never break off our engagement again, won't you?
I don't think I will. Since I already met you, but there is a question about your name.
Yes, of course.
You mustn't laugh at me, Ernest, but it's simply a girl's dream of mine to be in love with a person called Ernest. I believe that name carries absolute confidence, and I pity those married women whose husband is not Ernest.
But my dear child, couldn't you love me if I have some other name?
But what names?
Any name, Algernon, for instance.
But I don't like the name Algernon.
But my dear own sweet Cecily, why did you object to the name Algernon? It is not a bad name at all, but Cecily, seriously, couldn't you love me if my name was LG?
I might respect you. I might admire your character. But I'm afraid I won't be able to give you my undivided attention.
Cecily, your actor here is, I suppose, truly experienced in the rites and ceremonial of the church.
Oh yes, your Dr. Chasuble is the most learned man. He's never written any book. Can you imagine how much he knows?
I must see him at once. For important business. For an important christening.
Oh!
I shan't be away for more than half an hour.
Half an hour? That's 30 minutes. Could you make it 20?
I'll be back in no time.
That impetuous boy, yes. I must write down his proposal in my diary at once.